Welcome to my channel. I'm Kari Greger.
How you doing?
Today, I'm making crispy plant-based chicken sandwiches with a zesty Southwest mustard lime flavor. Let's get into it. I'm using the plant-based chicken recipe that I made a video of a few weeks ago. So we're starting off with chickpeas, water, and then adding some salt, which is optional, garlic powder, onion powder, and chicken-flavored vegetable bouillon, 100% vegan, miso. This is actually a chickpea miso, so it's soy-free, and apple cider vinegar. We take that all to the blender and blend it up until it's smooth. The link to this recipe is in the description below and in the information card above. Once we have it blended nice and smooth, we're going to transfer it to a mixer with a dough hook and then gradually add in the wheat flour gluten. What's different about making this plant-based chicken is that we're going to shape it into patties. We're going to use the same technique that we used before to get the grain of the meat. We are going to roll the dough only one way back and forth.
What are you doing? This is a one-way street!
We're only going one way!
Ah!
And that gives us a nice meat grain. But instead of rolling it up into a loaf to put into the Instant Pot, we're going to cut out patties for burgers or for cutlets. The method is the same as we used before, folding it over several times and then rolling it out. The last time, instead of folding it over, I've rolled it out about 1/4 inch thick, and then I'm going to cut it into patties. In order to get the right size of the patties, I have my whole wheat buns here. I have found a glass container that is exactly the right size that I need for the patties to be. They'll fit into the bun nicely. So I'm going to use this as a guide. If the edge was sharp enough, I could push down and it would cut the patty, but this has got a rounded edge. It's a nice safe bowl to be using in the kitchen. So I'm going to use a knife to cut around the edge. And also, I'm not cutting through entirely. I'm kind of tearing it away. That way we have that slightly cutlet look at the edges. It looks a little bit meaty. So 1/4 inch, and then the right size roundness that we need.
Nah, I just don't think I'm cut out for music.
But you're good, Marty. You're really good.
And this I'm going to wrap in wax paper and then put into a foil pouch. You could simply wrap it in parchment paper if you don't want to use foil. And that should work just fine. But I find that the wax paper separates the patties enough so that they will cook separately. And that's what I'm concerned about. Like I said, though, you could wrap them all in parchment paper and wrap them tightly, and then you can put them into the Instant Pot. But you have to make sure that there's something separating each of the patties, or when you steam this, they will stick together. I have pre-cut wax paper and pre-cut foil. Looks like I can get 3 patties into each pouch and then fold the foil up over top and pinch it closed. So I've got these little packets with 3 patties in each. Let's put the rack down into the Instant Pot, add 2 cups of water. That's for the steaming. The water should come just below the rack, not over top of the rack, because we're going to cook these with steam. Then put the pouches in there. I can get 6 of these pouches out of this recipe, which is about the regular size of a hamburger, and that means I have 18 servings of plant-based chicken. Put the lid on and make sure that the valve is over to seal. We want to seal that to keep the steam in.
Holy steam valve. Sorry, sir. It just slipped out.
Then we're going to set it. Push manual and then adjust the pressure. You can hit the adjust button to adjust the pressure, and we want it on high for 25 minutes. The plus and minus symbols adjust the time. So that's manual, adjust for pressure, and then plus and minus for the time. 25 minutes. And there it goes. Once the patties have steamed and cooled a bit, I wrap them and put them in the freezer. It is so convenient to have these plant-based chicken cutlets in the freezer at the ready for any recipe. On top of the convenience, I know what's in them. Because when you make it yourself, you have total control over the fat, salt, and sugar. Are you getting value? Give me a thumbs up below, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know when another recipe is posted. Well, the plant-based chicken is steaming. I'm going to make the liquid mixture for our patties. 3 tablespoons of mustard, 1 tablespoon of lime juice, 2 tablespoons of plant-based milk, and 1 teaspoon of sugar or honey or other sweetener. That's totally up to you, optional. Now, our Instant Pot is finished steaming. I have let the Instant Pot naturally release, and I'm opening up the packages of foil. And we have our chicken is nicely steamed and cooked. Let it naturally release and cool off before you handle it.
Calypso, I release you from your human bonds.
The flour dredge and the crumb coating I have previously shown you in another video when I made plant-based chicken nuggets. I am using the same recipe, so you can refer to the recipe below for the amounts. I keep it in bags, both the crumb coating and the flour dredge, in my cupboard, so it's at the ready whenever I want to make nuggets or these nice plant-based chicken burgers. The reason why I do this is because I don't have to mix it up every time. I just take a few tablespoons out and put it into a bag. So here's the crumb coating. I'm going to do the same thing. Take a few tablespoons out, put it into the bag. This will be disposed of because the liquid will contaminate it. It'll get all sticky, but it keep the other part of the crumb coating and the flour dredge free of liquid. I poured some of the mustard lime mixture into another bowl so that I can have it separated. First of all, I take the patty, I put it into the mustard lime mixture, make sure it's covered and coated. Then I put it into the flour dredge and shake and bake that. Make sure that it's completely covered with the flour. Out the patty comes from the flour dredge and into the mustard lime liquid mixture again. Flip it over, cover it completely, and then slide it into the crumb coating bag and once again shake to cover. Just add enough of the crumb coating or the flour dredge as you need. We don't want to waste any of it. It's just perfect to shake it in these little sandwich bags. It comes out of the crumb coating and directly into a greased pan. You can grease it or parchment, but I have to cook it at a fairly high temperature. Parchment, you shouldn't be cooking over, I think it's 400 or 420. I'm using a little bit of spray grease in the bottom of the glass baking dish. I continue to do this for all of the burgers that I'm going to be baking, and then they are set to go into the oven. Preheat the oven to 425. Okay, so it's time for cleanup. This is all garbage. The bags that I used, and the liquid has to be thrown out, whatever's left. But see, I have crumb coating and I have flour dredge for another time. It's just zip it close, and I have a container that I keep it in my cupboard for the next time I want to make some kind of nuggets or chicken burger patties. The burgers go into the oven and they bake for 10 minutes. While they are baking, I'm going to get the other foil pouches opened up and package this for the freezer. I'm putting wax paper, double layer of wax paper between each of the patties because I do not want them to stick together in the freezer. I want to be able to get those patties apart. And I have a nice package of patties for my freezer, and this will be at the ready whenever I want to bake chicken burgers.
Yeah, chickens.
Which ones?
All of them.
After 10 minutes, take the patties out of the oven and flip them over. They're getting nicely browned. It looks like a fast food chicken burger, doesn't it? Back in the oven for another 10 minutes. Then we're ready to put them on the bun. I gotta tell you, you should have smell vision. This smells so good. This chicken patty is perfect on a burger, but You could also use it as a high protein topper for a salad. I'm using the Southwest salad that we had last time, and this is our mustard lime chicken cutlet. I'm going to cut it into strips and then put it on top of the salad. This is really a high protein. I would be interested to know how much protein this has compared to meat, because with the wheat gluten in there and those chickpeas, it's got to be pretty high in protein. There we go. Oh, I'm just going to taste a little bit like this without the salad, just because I can. I'm going to take the end here. There's crispy chicken for the top of your salad, and that's Southwest dressing. 2 bites. This is so good. If you found this useful, click the subscribe button below and leave a comment. Let me know how you like this.
What's the matter? You chicken?
Nobody calls me chicken.
Next video, I'm going to be continuing in the Southwest cuisine with corned bean salsa, or cowboy caviar. That's what it's sometimes called. So, while you're down there, click the notification bell so you will know when that recipe is posted. And leave a comment. Thanks. Thank you for watching.